So I'll begin this sneak preview for the Raising of the Djed with the following questions. What does the act of raising the Maypole or raising the Djed symbolize? What is the significance and what is the historical meaning behind this ancient tradition? Why is the Djed pillar referred to as the pillar of stability? To learn more about concepts related to the raising of the Maypole, the raising of the Djed, and their symbolic relationship to the pillar of universal foundation, watch the video series entitled The Vitruvian Man, Adam Kadmon, and the ISIS Conspiracy. The Raising of the Djed, the pillar of universal foundation. If you will recall from part 1, we learned about various cultural celebrations related to the raising of the Maypole and how these celebrations have their origin in ancient Egypt with the raising of the Djed ceremonies during yearly celebrations of the Heb-Sed festival. Having learned that these yearly rituals of festive tradition take place during the month of May in various parts of the world, let's take a brief look at some of the concepts surrounding the raising of the Djed pillar. In the raising of the Djed pillar, we'll begin by simulating the Maypole being pulled into an upright position through the use of several stabilizing poles and or use of several ropes. Next, we will simulate the Djed pillar being pulled into an upright position, which was normally accomplished through the use of several ropes during yearly ancient Egyptian Heb-Sed festivals. Having done that, we will now simulate the Djed pillar rising from a stationary position along the central column of the stalk or trunk of the tree of life. Notice the position and the size of the Djed pillar in this configuration. Not only is the Djed pillar smaller in height, but the top of its pillar aligns with the central axis of minor conjunction, or the inner core, located within the central area of the tree of life. Notice how the Djed pillar begins to rise in its ascendancy along the column of the trunk or stalk of the pole ground. And finally, take note that there is the emergence of a horned sun once the Djed pillar reaches the major axis of conjunction, or the outer core, located within the upper area of the tree of life. Having simulated the raising of the Djed pillar within the field, let us now take a closer look at the Djed pillar and its relationship to the tree of life. As you can see, the stabilizer of the Djed pillar is configured in its station along the central column of the trunk upon the tree of life, and is positioned to align with the electromagnetic channel of its gravitational pole ground. In order to appreciate the mechanical function of the Djed pillar, we'll move it over and away from the central column of the trunk or stalk of the pole ground so that we can take a brief look at what lay beneath. Notice that the series of bands present within the central area of the Djed pillar are aligned with the series of bands present within the central area of the tree of life, which is referred to as the central axis of minor conjunction or the inner core. Also take note of the fact that the uppermost platform of the Djed pillar aligns with the series of bands located near the upper area of the tree of life, which is referred to as the major axis of conjunction or the outer core. In our brief overview of the Djed pillar and its relationship to the tree of life, we have demonstrated the raising of the Djed pillar in two different ways. We will expand upon the reasons as to why this is in the upcoming release for the final version of Part 8. In the meantime, there are 3 questions that arise. Question number 1. What does the act of raising the Maypole or raising the Djed symbolize? What is the significance and what is the historical meaning behind this ancient tradition? Question number 2. Why is the Djed pillar referred to as the pillar of stability? And finally, question number 3. Why is the Djed pillar referred to as the backbone of Osiris? Well, that's it for this video. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when we post new videos. Until next time.